right, good morning. TWG. TWG. This one's a little crazy. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome. Good morning, Crystal Ball. JB, good morning. Brian T, good morning. Vols, good morning. Morgan, good morning. Fulton, good morning. Let's see. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, so TWG, I've been watching this one. This one is our leading gapper, up 140%. Let's check out the float. 8.4 million shares. However, that will change because they just did an offering. Public offering of 27 million shares. 27 million shares at 40 cents. So they announced this at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern time. Good morning, Gus. Good morning, Northsale. And this stock dumped all the way down to $2.70. Rips all the way back up in an instant and then breaks out of $5. This is not, I've never seen price action like this, where the news of an offering dumps a stock 50% and within just seconds it's back up to new highs. So this is definitely being manipulated. We dump again all the way back down to 360 and then curl up for a little bit of another bear trap here. Curling up here, breaking again new highs. So 27 million shares announced on the market. That's a lot. So we're diluting this, the amount of shares on the market by 300%. More than 300%. That is very bearish. That is very bearish. This should not be, it should not be up at 567, but it is. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? We know when the offering does go through, and the shares are diluted, it'll eventually come back down. But maybe there's some bears stuck. Maybe there's some bears stuck. Somebody's squeezing. Maybe. I honestly, I have no idea what's going on the back end. It's very, very something I've never seen before. Definitely something I've never seen before. So that's TWG. This is one of those cases where it has bad news, but it's trading good. It's trading like a decent price action. So am I going to trade it? I have no idea. I probably shouldn't trade it. This is a recipe for you're just going to buy a dip and it just goes all the way to zero. Because the offering was at 40 cents. Dude, this thing can just halt down and open at like $1 a share whenever it wants. 27 million shares offering at 40 cents. We're trading like 100x, 200, more than 100x of the offering price. I don't even think it's marginal on Charles Schwab. But what I've been hearing is, if you do go over the margin, if you do go over your cash balance, you can just call up Charles Schwab and they'll remove the restriction. So I would trade a non-marginal stock, but the only thing is I don't want to have to call Charles Schwab and then have them put me on hold to figure something out on the back end or fix it on the back end while the market's about to open. And in some cases, some people, it takes a couple hours for it to go through and they're missing the next day. So if I can avoid that, I will just so I can ensure that I can trade even the next day. So TWG, man, this one's a wild card. It just hit all-time highs here, at least as far as I can tell. I believe, let's see if this was an IPO back here in April. Let's go back on the news. So yeah, it was an IPO back here. So we're a blue sky setup. Blue skies. Blue skies. But we have an offering news. So I would be surprised if we break 567. I would be very surprised if we break it. But the chart is still still bullish. You know, we're stair-stepping up. So who knows what the heck's going to happen with this? It's definitely going to be a wild card on TWG. So yeah, that's TWG. Next one here is Zena, Z-E-N-A, up 60%. Z-E-N-A. Let's check out the float on Z-E-N-A. Z-E-N-A. Looks like they have not indexed this ticker. Let's try Guru Focus. I don't like FinViz just because the ads. Just so many ads, man. Trying to milk that ad rev. No, I only see 17.66 shares outstanding. It doesn't show a float. So I'm gonna have to pull out FinViz here. There may be a slight lag from all these ads. So on FinViz it says 1.93 share float. So nice and low. Nice low float. Do we have news? Do we have the news? Looks like yesterday, 747.56, Xenatech announced that its subsidiary, Xenadrone, is launching an IQ Nano product, part of the IQ series of indoor-outdoor drones. So it's a drone company. So a new launch of IQ Nano drone for indoor use in warehouses and distribution and plant facilities. I think that's pretty decent. Pretty good catalyst. But it was released yesterday at 7. We didn't get any pop at 7. We didn't get any volume at 7 yesterday. No volume here when the news came out. It was delayed, I guess. Looks like the market picked it up maybe at 4 or 5 a.m. and then it started to go. 1 million share float. Is this a recent IPO? I don't know. 10-1. What happened at 10-1? Okay, so it looks like it was previously a SPAC. So it looks like Sundial, SNDL, which is actually a marijuana company, announced, this was back in March, so it announced it'll enter into a purchase agreement. So it looks like they purchased shares of Xena. Did they buy the company? Or they just purchased some shares? Does not say here. But yeah, I guess there was no news from 3:13 to 9:30 date wise. So I'm not sure. I guess there was no price action before this date. This had to have been a SPAC. Because yeah, it looks like on 9:30 they received approval to list common shares on the NASDAQ. Yeah, it says, okay, North Sale says not marginable. I assume on TWG. Yeah, TWG. I wonder if Xena, I'll have to check on Xena here, make sure that we can even trade it. Is all the stocks today are not marginable? Dude, what the hell, man? I'm gonna trade it no matter what because there's nothing else to trade, and then I'll just call Charles Schwab to get that lifted. That's what people have been doing. Is if they get restricted, they go over to cash balance. They just call Charles Schwab and they lift the restriction, and they've been doing it reliably. TWG, yeah, TWG fading. That would have been a great short, actually, if you could, because you had the news. Just put a stop at the high and just let it ride. But yeah, you can't, it's not marginable, so I don't even think you definitely can't short. There's no way. It's not marginable. You can't short. I don't short anyways, but hindsight, hindsight. What's been ripping though is DJT. DJT has been just on a tear. I guess. Well, when Kamala Harris started her campaign, it was looking good for her. So I guess everyone thought that she was gonna win. I guess she was looking good in the polls. And DJT, Donald Trump Media and Technology Company, just grinded down all the way to $11 a share. And then looks like the polls, I guess, flipped. And I guess the initial hype of Kamala Harris is starting to die down. And so I guess Trump's campaign is starting to get some steam again, causing the price to go up for DJT. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It would have been nice to get shares down there. I was looking around 12. I was watching this at 12, but I was like, it just seems like a gamble because this company is not really driven by, it's not driven by fundamentals. It's more just driven by like hype and sentiment of Donald J. Trump, DJT. And it would essentially just be a gamble on the election, not really the fundamentals of the company. It's just a coin flip of, do you think that he's going to win the presidency? That's the trade. So that's kind of why I stayed away from it, because there was no fundamentals on the trade. I'd rather, if I'm going to be holding for a swing or for a long term, something that actually has fundamentals. Because who knows, maybe the night of the election, it's just not looking good, and this thing could dump from, if say it's $30 coming into the election, this thing could just dump down to $15, $10 a share if he doesn't win. So it's definitely a gamble. If anyone's holding this, definitely be good to scale out in anticipation into the election. I think it is going to be a sell the news event. I think even if he does win, I think it's going to go down. If it's grinding up into the election in anticipation of he's going to win, like 35, 40, like a couple days before the election. If I was in this trade, I'd be scaling out because even if he wins, I think it's still going to be a sell the news event. Similar, like we saw with Tesla, like the robo-taxi event. Like in anticipation of the robo-taxi event, this thing was ripping from 180 up to 260, crazy good move. Pulled back a little bit, and then even like I thought it was a pretty decent event, and it seems like the full self-driving is going to be coming relatively soon, and the robo-taxis, like I thought that was pretty groundbreaking. Transforming parking lots into parks because we don't need to own cars. And we don't need parking lots to put our cars. Dude, parking lots take up a lot of space. Dude, parking lots take up a lot of space. And in the city, it's like parking lots are like, that's some valuable real estate that we're just using just to put down pavement. So, definitely be valuable in the cities. I think it's definitely going to be pretty groundbreaking. And yeah, even still, like after that awesome event, this thing dumped from 240 overnight down to 220. So even if it's solid news, like it could still just be a sell the news event, especially after it's made a nice move. So that's kind of my analysis on those two stocks. But as far as today, as far as the small caps go, if he wins, yeah, I mean, it could skull. It could go to all-time highs. But my thesis is going to be a sell the news event no matter what happens. Looks like no trade Friday for Morgan. Yeah, I think the storms definitely knocked out some volume. I'm sure of it. There's a lot of traders in Florida. A lot of even the Wall Street traders, like they have houses in Florida, and they're there like half the year. It's like super popular, so they can save on, I guess, state income tax. So don't pay New York state income tax. I don't know. It could or it can't. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Even just like retail traders, there's a lot of retail traders in Florida. But I don't know if there's going to be that much of an impact. Okay, it looks like we have a screenshot here of Mighty Stocks talking to Charles Schwab. Let's see what they say. So hello, quick question. If a stock is not marginal, are we allowed to day trade it more than our cash balance, or should we refrain from doing so? Thank you for chatting with us. We appreciate your appearance in the next failure. Okay. Hello, and thank you for chatting with us. My name is Dave. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thanks. Okay, you can trade settled funds balance for... You can trade your settled funds for non-marginal securities. If it is a non-marginal security and you day trade it, even on a margin account, it will not be settled until the following business day. What? Okay, we know that. But can we go over the limit is the question. What if we go over the limit? Are we restricted for 90 days? Man, this is the type of stuff that Charles Schwab just like really just grinds my gears. They just grind my freaking gears. They have no idea what they're doing. Like one person says yes, one person says no. Dude, it is. I might not even trade today. So TWG, is not marginable. Xena, not marginable. Dude, I also saw this article that TD Bank. So TD Bank got in a lawsuit. TD Bank lawsuit. They got convicted for a $3 billion fine for money laundering, for money laundering criminals and the drug cartels. That's probably why they sold Thinkorswim. That's probably why they sold Thinkorswim, because they got to somehow fess up $3 billion for drug cartel money laundering. TD Bank hit with record $3 billion fine over drug cartel money laundering. This is a crazy article. You guys got to look into this. But, yeah, I mean, just right under our noses, like, this huge company is just laundering billions of dollars for drug cartels. Employees are collecting $57,000 worth of gift cards to process their cash deposits. Okay, so we got a minute and a half. Good luck, guys. Honestly, like, nothing really looks good right now. You guys are saying Turb. Yeah, I was looking at Turb, but there's no volume right now. Oh, wait, look. You do have volume now. Yeah, maybe I'll look at Turb. Looks like it has a low float. Do we have news? No news. So no news. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I'm probably just going to be sitting tight, trading small, just going to protect the profits I made this week. Yeah, and Eric, yeah, you're probably right. Just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot that we don't know. So yeah, good luck, guys. Stay calm, cool, and collected, manage your risk, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.